How do you make 7 even? Take away the S. So today the daily fluency for week 3, day 1 has these two easy problems. 10 plus 5 equals 15. Is that true or false? And then the second problem, same thing. 19 minus 10 equals 9. Is that true or false? So just circle T if it is true or F if it is false. I'm going to leave those for you guys to solve at home. And today we're going to solve for daily fluency an equation, more like the ones we were solving last week using the seesaw. So the problem is 8 minus 3 equals 10 minus 5. So let's bring in on the left side 8 penguins. So that's a row of 5. And then 3 more equals 8. And then on the right side, I'm going to need 10 penguins. So that's a row of 5. And here's my second row of 5. That's 10 penguins. So now, on the left, I need to subtract 3. And on the right, I need to subtract 5. So let's subtract 3 on the left. There you go, equals 5. So what happens to the seesaw? Right now, 10 penguins are heavier, so it's unbalanced. Actually, 5 penguins is less than 10 penguins. But we have to subtract 5 penguins from the right. So I'm going to subtract these 5 penguins. So what happens? 5 and 5. So turns out that 8 minus 3 equals 5. And 10 minus 5 also equals 5. So the seesaw is balanced again. And this equation is true. Okay, so you should practice this at home, and I'm gonna give you these two problems that I would like you to practice at home. These two problems. Pause the video if you need to write them down. I know that you don't have GG stickers at home, but anything that you have plenty of at home will work just fine, like coins or how about paper clips. 14 paper clips. So you bring in a bunch of paper clips, make sure you count them. You can place them like an array. So use something that you have at home and solve these two problems. The daily task today has these 5 problems in which we need to write down in the blank if the comparison is true or false. So we're gonna solve 2 here in the video, and I'm gonna ask you that you do the same that I do to solve the other 3 at home. So we're gonna do B and E. Okay, so let's get started with B. We're gonna use the place value chart and the seesaw. Although these comparisons don't have an equal sign, they're not quite equations, so we're gonna use the symbols that they use. B is using actually the less than symbol. So here's the less than symbol. Okay, so B says 9 tens, 2 hundreds, 2 hundreds, and 4 ones. So on the left, the first number is 294. So I'm going to put it on the seesaw, 294. So right now, because there's nothing on the right side, the 294 is going to be greater, heavier. But that's just because there's nothing on the right side. But let's continue reading. Less than 942, number 942. I'm going to write it here, 942. That's the second number. And I'm going to put it on the seesaw, 942. So 942 is actually greater number, so the seesaw should be kind of the opposite, this way. So I'm gonna bring down this 942, and let's see, is that true? 294 is less than 942? So you just need to look at the hundreds and say, yeah, 200 is less than 900. So for that reason, B is true. Now we're gonna solve the last problem, E. So E says 3 hundredths, 4 tenths. It says nothing about the ones, so we're gonna fill in with a 0. So we have our first number on the left, 340, and then it says less than, so less than. So right now 340 is actually greater than nothing, so it should be heavier. But let's see what's on the right side. It says 7 tenths, 9 ones, and 2 hundredths. So on the right side, we have number 279. So you look, and actually the seesaw should be unleveled in the way it is, because 3 hundredths is actually greater than 2 hundredths, but the symbol that they have in the problem is less than. So for that reason, the problem is gonna be false. Finally, the exit ticket has 2 expressions, and in the middle there's a blank where you need to write down the correct symbol. So there's an expression on the left, and then there's an expression on the right, and right here in the middle you need to place either less than, greater than, or equals. I'll see you tomorrow.